On today's episode of Love on the Rocks, we bring you a developing story about a married mother of four in San Antonio, Texas, who's currently missing. The missing woman's name is Suzanne Clark Simpson.
Yeah, Suzanne Clark Simpson.
And it's just when I was reading this, it's creepy, man. Just that idea of an argument and then screams in the woods.
Yeah, especially in a neighborhood like that. You don't expect that kind of thing to happen.
This takes place in Olmos Park, an upscale community in San Antonio, so it's very well-to-do. And I know you'd share this case with me because you were interested in it too. And this is an interesting one. So let's give everybody kind of the background on Suzanne Clark Simpson and where we're going here. So she's a realtor, right?
Right, she's a realtor in San Antonio.
Mother of four.
A mother of four, yep.
And she disappears, or at least is last seen Sunday night, October 6th.
Correct, and this is 2024.
Yeah, so this story is all over local news, and we used a bunch of different sources here to kind of piece things together. So she's last seen on the 6th. It's not until the next day that her husband, Brad Simpson, reports her missing. Which I don't know about you, but I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's definitely something that investigators would zero in on. I mean, everyone processes shock and grief differently, but a full day that raises questions.
Right? And they had been out that evening. They were at a club in Alamo Heights, which is an exclusive area in San Antonio. People with a lot of money reside in this part of town.
Fancy, yeah, right.
So it's not like they were, some dive bar and something went down. It's this is a very nice establishment. So it's what happened there?
You would think that, in that kind of setting, maybe things wouldn't be as likely to escalate, but who knows what was going on behind the scenes, right? Or what might have happened on the way home.
Yeah. And then you've got this whole thing with the neighbor. So later that evening, back at the house, neighbor witnesses a pretty heated argument.
And not just a disagreement. This was a struggle.
Yeah, between Brad and Suzanne. Yeah, it was bad.
Basically trying to get away from him. Now it's a public spectacle as well, which again, you had to wonder what's going through Brad's mind at that point.
And then to make it even more creepy, because we're already this is not good.
Yeah, it's about to get worse.
The neighbor then says that shortly after witnessing this, physical altercation, that they hear screams coming from a wooded area, right?
Chilling.
So we've got this whole scene, right? Argument, possible screams in the woods, and then Brad Simpson disappears and he's not found in Olmos Park. He's all the way in Kendall County.
Kendall County. That's a bit of a drive, isn't it? It's not exactly next door.
No, not at all. What's he doing all the way out there? And I guess that's what they're trying to figure out.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's not like he just went out for a quick coffee run. Kendall County. That suggests something else is going on.
Yeah, when they find him, he's arrested. They don't mess around. Assault, causing bodily injury, family violence, and then unlawful restraint to a $2 million bond.
Wow, $1 million per charge. That tells you right there that the authorities are taking this very, very seriously. This isn't just a slap on the wrist.
No, not at all. Here's the thing that gets me. So he's obviously a person of interest in his wife's disappearance, right? But as right now, he hasn't actually been charged with anything directly related to her disappearance.
It's a kind of a legal gray area in a way, they clearly suspect he knows more than he's letting on. But they don't have that smoking gun yet. The evidence to connect him directly to whatever happened to Suzanne.
Right? It's they have the puzzle pieces, but they're still trying to figure out how they all fit together.
Exactly. And his behavior isn't exactly helping matters either. They're saying he's being pretty uncooperative with the investigation.
Which, I get it. You're stressed, you're scared. But also, if you want to help find your missing wife, wouldn't you be bending over backwards to help the police?
Right? You'd think so. It's just another one of those things that adds to the suspicion surrounding him. Why not be completely transparent if you have nothing to hide?
And it's not like he just stayed home after the argument either. He takes off to a family ranch.
Yeah, Bandera County. He's trying to lay low or something.
Yeah, so is he seeking comfort? Is he buying time? Is he? I don't know. Hiding evidence. We just don't know.
And that's where those cell phone records come into play, right? The police are saying his cell phone data puts him near his brother's property in Kendall County on the night Suzanne disappeared.
So now there's a brother involved potentially.
I mean, we don't know for sure what role, if any, the brother plays in all of this, but it's definitely another layer to this whole thing.
Okay, so we've got Brad, we've got the brother, we've got this property in Kendall County. What are the chances this is all just a big coincidence?
Slim to none, I'd say. The police seem to think so too, because they're really honing in on that connection. They're looking at the brother, they're looking at that property, trying to figure out if there's any link to Suzanne's disappearance.
The plot thickens.
Exactly. And while all of this is happening, the police are busy actually doing police things, right? They're searching the Simpsons' house in Olmos Park.
So they're not just focusing on Brad and the brother.
No, they're looking everywhere, which is what they should be doing. And on top of that, they're combing through his truck, his black GMC Sierra, apparently a 2019. Details matter, but seriously, they're looking for anything and everything. DNA, fibers, anything that could connect Suzanne to that truck.
And it's not just the police doing the searching either. They're asking for the public's help, right?
Absolutely. They're putting out the call, saying if anyone saw that truck, that black GMC Sierra, anywhere on Sunday night, they need to come forward. Even the smallest detail could be huge in a case like this.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like that one little thing, that one thing someone saw or heard that blows the whole case wide open.
Exactly. And as the police are doing their thing, you've got Suzanne's family. I can't imagine what they're going through right now.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Her brother-in-law, Barton Tinsley Simpson, released a statement expressing their concern, saying they're fully cooperating with law enforcement. You can just feel the desperation in his words.
Their world has been turned upside down. They just want her home safe.
And then you've got Suzanne's daughter going on social media, sharing a picture of what her mother was wearing that night, a navy blue dress, hoping that someone will remember seeing her.
It's a reminder that this is real life. These aren't characters in a story. This is a real person, a mother, a daughter, a friend, and she's missing. And her family is going through unimaginable pain and uncertainty.
Yeah, it's a lot to process. And we're still left with so many questions. It's like we're putting together a puzzle, but we don't have all the pieces yet,
Exactly. And some of the pieces we do have are just baffling, like that argument at the club. What was said there?
Yeah. Was it just like normal couple stuff that escalated, or was there something more to it? Something simmering beneath the surface?
Right? And how does that argument, whatever it was about, connect to the altercation later that night in front of the neighbor? The police will be looking into all of that.
And then those screams.
Yeah, that detail gets me every time. Who was screaming and why?
What was going on in those woods that would make someone scream like that?
Just sends chills down your spine, doesn't it? It suggests a level of fear, of desperation, that's just unsettling.
Yeah, totally. So get the argument, the struggle, the screams, and then the cell phone data.
That's another piece of the puzzle. Where was he going that night? Why was his phone pinging near his brother's property?
What are the chances?
Exactly. And the police are going to want to know if Brad was heading there that night, what he was doing there, and if Suzanne was with him.
And then there's the truck, too.
Yeah, that truck is a gold mine of potential evidence. If they were trying to hide something, or if something happened to Suzanne in or around that vehicle.
Yeah, totally. So get the argument, the struggle, the screams, and then the cell phone data.
They'll be looking at everything.
So we're left with more questions than answers. Such as Suzanne, was she the victim of foul play?
And if so, did Brad have something to do with it? What about the brother? Does he know more than he's letting on?
It's a lot. And it's easy to get caught up in all the twists and turns. But at the heart of it all, there's a family who just wants to know what happened to their daughter, their sister, their mother.
Absolutely. And our thoughts are with them as this investigation unfolds. Hopefully, they'll get the answers they deserve.
Yeah, I hope so too. And if anyone out there knows anything about this case, no matter how small or insignificant you think it might be,
please come forward.
Because you never know that one little detail you have could be the missing piece that cracks this whole thing wide open and helps bring Suzanne home.
Absolutely. Don't hesitate. Reach out to the authorities.
All right, everyone. That's it for our deep dive on the disappearance of Suzanne Clark Simpson. We'll keep you updated as this story develops.